decided to show up to work today. Hey everybody, welcome in. My name is Johnny. With me, I've got DJD.
I hate you.
And Farmer.
How's it going?
And sitting there in the booth, we've got Craig, who decided to show up for work today. Craig, do you have anything to say about what happened last week? Do you have anything to say for yourself?
I was maybe a little aggressive. I apologize. Let's go this way. Do you consider yourself a good person, Johnny?
I think good is a pretty loaded word.
Okay. Do you generally try to look out for others or whatever?
Where are we? Are we at the bank? Because at the bank, no. But sure, yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you want to see the people around you do better? Generally.
Yes, I would say that. Yes.
Okay. So
I think
you're a liar, and I hate you because you don't just give an addict crack cocaine. Okay, you don't get an addict addicted back to alcohol. Why on earth did you reintroduce me to Elite Dangerous?
Oh, I see
where this is going.
It's
do you feel like you're a good person? But
I would say this because I reintroduced myself to Elite Dangerous, and a drowning man just pulls anything under to try and get help.
Because I'm looking at my Steam playtime right now. You introduced me back into it. I finally got back into it on Wednesday. I have 25 hours already.
Oh,
in 3 days.
Oh my God. But I will say this.
Goodbye weekend.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh man, and especially being able to transfer our stuff. That means so much. It means so much.
I'm not even doing that. I'm starting from scratch, but doggone it. It's such a good game. Yeah.
I mean, you're starting from scratch, D. But it is such a good game.
One of the things I forgot about Elite is just how great a game it is to just kind of have going on while you're doing other stuff or whatever. And you really have to pay attention when you're dropping in and going back into hyperspace or whatever. But outside of that, it's a very pretty chill game. And also, I kind of hate you because now I really actually see a use case for the Steam Deck.
Oh,
because my gosh,
that
game would be perfect for the Steam Deck.
That's what dual purpose. If you got a Steam Deck, you could use it for that and for Helldivers stratagems, all that.
Yeah.
So get it.
The game is so good. I went through the hassle of getting all of my stuff sent back. So for a little, this is pre-streaming days even. Maybe people don't realize. David and I played a lot of Elite Dangerous on Xbox back in the day.
Yes.
A lot of Elite Dangerous. I went as far as I own the most expensive ship in the game and all of that stuff. But the problem is that the console version and the PC version, there's no crossplay, and they're not at the same, they're not the same version, right? So console, they would release stuff on PC first and then it would come to console. But I don't know 5 years ago, they just scrapped the newest version coming to console, period.
Yeah.
The game is still supported.
Pull it off the store? So
no, it's still playable and everything.
It's still playable.
Yeah.
But
they
also,
have
not just
Horizons
that.
is the latest update on console.
But not just that, but all of the new story stuff with all of that stuff on console is just not really happening anymore. The community on console is pretty dead. Got a Steam Deck and I was like, oh man, maybe, Elite Dangerous was on sale. Maybe I can play Elite Dangerous. I actually transferred my commander with my money and my ships over. And to be honest, I got emotional flying into my old home station again, because where I came in, it brought me to like the first place that you go, just period. And so I had to fly to my home station. And now, I mean, imagine this difference, Farm. When we were playing the game, you could only sit in your ship. That's it. That's the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You never get up from that chair, or you get into like a car and you're driving on the planet. I could get out of my ship and walk around in the hangar, and I actually could go into the station. I went to a bar in the station. I bought some new armor. I bought some guns. You can like pick up missions just from talking to people. It's crazy. You can just take a shuttle from one station to another station. It's so crazy.
I got a mission where I had to deliver schematics from like one person to another, right? And I talked to the person. They gave me the mission. I'm like, okay, cool. Got in my ship, flew to the planet, had to land on the planet. And instead of just going to like starport services and just going through a menu system to like complete that part of the quest, like I actually had to get out of my ship, look around for the right person to talk to.
Oh my God.
And talk to the person.
So awesome.
And also, I couldn't find the person, so I literally had to go up to a panel that had an employee directory to be able to find the person, to highlight where they were on that particular outpost. And then I was able to find them that way. It was so cool. It's just,
that's the thing. I've not landed and walked around in an outpost yet. Only like a huge starport. I'm so interested. It's funny because it is literally a whole new thing opened up, but it's a whole new thing opened up. It's so different.
Yeah.
Flying around is still very much the same. The combat that I would like. So David flies like more medium-sized ships, but I was flying, almost like capital ships, huge ships with like turret. When I'm fighting people, I'm mostly just managing power systems and letting turrets and like stuff deal with everything. That's all the same, but man, it's kind of funny because I bought all these awesome new single player games and I just want to play Elite.
And you want to drag down your friend. You want to drag down David with you.
Apparently, yeah.
Farm, you need to download it on Steam. We'll all play. We'll all fly around.
You know what? My gosh. What I've remember from Elite was it's one of those games where like when you play it, it's not like you can to just be like half in. It's like you're either 100% in or not in at all, because I remember like just the fact of like the realism in that game is amazing. And again, I never played as many hours as you guys did, but I can definitely respect what they did with that game. And I did love like landing and like, getting your fuel and, solar scooping. And I mean, all of it is just so technical.
I mean, we could meet you somewhere, Farm, and like just do like a single
Farm, you can get
from like one place to another.
You can get out of your ship and just ride with David the whole time.
That's true. Yeah. Well, not right now.
That's a part of the.
I'm in a
Sidewinder. You could ride with me. You could ride with me. That's
so. What you're saying is now you two are trying to bring me down and drown me.
Yes. That's basically. Yeah. Looking at this, I have the stats right now. Johnny, you have 721 hours on Xbox. And I have 448. So I mean, like,
so what he felt so much nostalgia
we
there.
Played this a lot, yeah.
You come back and you're like, it's like home.
And Farmer's actually at like 39 hours. Like he played a decent amount, yeah.
I legitimately got emotional, like climbing out of my ship at the. I'm not going to say the name of the system that I call home, and then I'm not going to do this.
Go to Johnny's system. He's about
people just waiting outside to shoot me as I come out. Like going into that orbital, and like getting to get out and walk around. I mean, we literally talked about how cool it would be to go to a space bar in the orb. Like, we dreamt about what that could be, and to get out and to actually do it was wild. Like, David just said the embarrassing amount of hours I've spent in that game. Like, oh man.
I remember one of those things that early on when I actually played this like pre-alpha and everything. Funny enough. But I remember thinking, oh, it would be cool if we could go on planets, and all that stuff is a thing now. I've not done
Because
that yet in that game
Yeah,
yet.
now not only can you go land on the planet, before when you landed on the planet, you had to drive around in a little car. Now you can walk around. I actually did this. I landed on a planet and climbed out of the ship, and the planet didn't have like Earth gravity. So when I would jump, it was really cool, actually. I immediately got back in the ship though because I got scared because I don't know what happens when you die when you're not in, where am I going to respawn? Right? Where am I going to respawn? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
The argument of
Does
like
someone
when you're
have
in
to
a
like find you and pick you up?
yeah, the argument of like when you were in a fighter or
You have
when
to
you
go
were in an
SOS.
or when you were in the car was that technically you weren't actually in there. You're like
That it was like a
remote
drone or
piloting
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a drone. You're remote piloting it, but like I'm like I can look down and see my feet touching the surface, right? So I don't know. I got nervous. I suddenly got very nervous and went back inside. But yeah, all of that just from sitting in the chair, to being able to, incredible. If Frontier wanted to sponsor this podcast, oh my gosh, yeah, this can become an Elite Dangerous podcast. I mean, the lore in it is so great. And Farm, they've introduced these new things that maybe people say, oh, Johnny, I can't believe you would use that. But like, they have like Super Cruise Assist and advanced docking computers now. The computer will dock for you and will launch
Well, I
for
definitely
you
wouldn't
when
want
you
that.
leave.
I mean,
When
who
you
wants
leave,
that?
it launches for you. And for Super Cruise,
have heard
if you
about
just
that.
line up, well, you could turn it off. But here's the nice thing. So now I will launch and my ship will like get in line and go and like leave. And during that time, I'll actually be like plotting my course. As opposed to before, I would always do all of that and then go. Now I'll like start the auto launch. I'll like figure out where I'm going, plot the course, do all of that. And then when I exit that menu, I'm like outside already, right? And like I can just go. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Also, so for those who don't know, I'm gonna.
Well,
I
I just want to point out real
here.
quick that can you guys? I mean, these guys are hard trying to sell me on this game. Can you believe this? Can you believe the slander? Can you believe these guys just like they're door-to-door salesmen trying to sell me on this game? It's like, do I have enough time for any of the other games I have right now? No.
Have we talked about our Lord and Savior Elite Dangerous? Do you have a minute? Well, that's funny because I actually the last few days have been playing a lot of Fortnite trying to do the Avatar event.
Oh, yes.
To unlock Appa. It's not so bad, but one of the things I'm not a big fan of is they're like releasing everything in increments. So like I didn't do like water, earth, and fire, and I did them all. And then it's like, well, air's gonna come out in 3 days. So come back in 3 days and you can do the air one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh my God, like I want to just sit down and do all of this now.
I mean, that's what they've found in these live service games. It's like, hey, okay, how can we string this out to keep people coming back? I mean, that's what you want. But it's also kind of like, oh, how can I juggle all these games when, for you guys especially, I just want to go back to playing Elite Dangerous. Can I get through this?
Well, that and also the event ends May 3rd. Like, I would love to have it before then. You know what I mean? I would, and I'm sure there'll be like a week where you can do everything like in the week kind of a deal. But I was wanting to use it now. The last thing is like the glider, the Appa glider. I was wanting to have access to that sooner.
I had a lot of fun playing with all the elements that they have. I think wind bending is great.
Oh,
air bending.
Well, I mean, you can't fight with it though. You can just do it for travel.
But it's so cool. I was like just surfing on the water.
It's so fast. It's so fast.
I was thinking
so cool.
in my head, okay, here we go. Just surfs up. Dude, it was sweet.
I actually took a screenshot. I don't often use the clipping or screenshot function on the Xbox. I took a screenshot where I was the avatar because I had all 4 elements in my inventory. And I was like, yeah. What's your favorite fighting one? Have you tried all of them?
I have tried all of them, and I mean, when it comes down to it, I think water is just far superior.
It's so OP. It's so good. OP. Like water.
I like the other ones, but yeah, they just don't compare to the water.
Well, because water just has such a good range and precision.
Super good range,
right?
and I didn't find out until yesterday that you can actually like almost ADS it a little bit. You know, you look down these sites and actually zoom in for even further. I'm like, holy cow, that changes the game.
Yeah, it really does that. Fire is good, especially on like a medium close, like shotgunny kind of range. But like water is just in Earth. I got like my first kill with Earth recently. It was fun, but like it's slower, you know, and easier to dodge.
I got a couple kills with it. I think my favorite thing about that one is doing the alt attack where it puts up the wall, and then you have your teammates on the other side, and you just launch your teammates. I mean, trolling with that one's nice.
It is fun. It is fun.
But so I'm still waiting to do that to somebody I know. You know,
I have, but I've been playing it a lot with my son. So I'll be back in a few days to open the air chakra. But it's been fun. And with my mother-in-law visiting, I haven't had as much time for gaming. So what I'm playing God of War, the first God of War. So let's get into it, I guess. God of War, the first one, and this is apparently a known problem that I have looked up and found out, crashes the Steam Deck.
Really?
Not only does it crash the Steam Deck, it like hardcore crashes the Steam Deck that you have to hold the power button for like a complete shut off and then like turn it back on. Like it doesn't crash the desktop. It just the game
and that just randomly happens.
It happens after a certain amount of time, and it happens more like if you like open up like are talking with someone and such, like in a menu. And I've done a couple of things to try and fix it. Like, you know, one of the things suggested, because you can kind of see it coming, like the frames will start to chug as like people lock the frames down, different things and such. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, it's kind of nice because it's like an automatic, you know, time to take a break. You know, I've been playing for 2 hours. Hey, game just crashed. I should, you know, walk around.
It's like one of those timers that you can set, you know, for your kids. It's like, okay, Johnny, your time's up.
Yeah, time's up, bud. But the story, man, I talked about this a little bit the other day with David. Story, pretty sad story, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty emotional story for sure.
And going through it, but Farm, you got to get into Elite Dangerous, man.
There he is.
You got to.
Trying to sell me on it again, I tell you.
Get into it, and we can all fly around. Hey, you know what? I have a big ship. You and David could fly with me. You guys could just fly my fighters, and we can do missions. I
always have fun when I play that game. You know, I do. It has nothing to do with the game. It's one of those games that's so open ended that I have to tell myself to stop, or I will, you know, not ever play any other game, because that's kind of how it works for me. If I'm playing 2 or 3 games, that's good for me. You know, if not, I get so laser focused. You know, I get laser focused on those games, and if I shift, I'll never play those other games I was going to play, so to speak, and then I'll just like, you know, just hardcore. I'm in that game, nothing else.
Well, then this is a good question. What are the 3 games that you are playing right now? D, you think about it, because for you too, what are the games you're playing right now?
Well, I think right now it's like between all 3 of us, like Helldivers has been like one of the big ones for sure.
Oh, so good.
I'm always playing some form of Halo, but I did a bad thing this week too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, what did you do?
You guys did Elite Dangerous, and I jumped back into Apex.
No,
it's my vice. I'm back to the addiction, and I love it. And it's a love-hate relationship.
Maybe I'll play some Apex with you. You know, nothing quite like my favorite thing about getting back into Apex. When you get back into Fortnite, I don't know how Epic knows, but they always like load you into a game with like 100% bots, and you're like the only real person. And so you like win the game, right? And you're like, wow, why did I stop playing Fortnite? This is great. And then that's how it feels anyway. When you go back to Apex, they just wreck you so hard. You're like, wow, I was able to pick up something this time. That was nice.
I mean, that's always been me in Apex, period. So, like, you know, I take pleasure in the little things, like surviving for 5 minutes, you know.
yeah, right.
You guys were sharing your time in Elite Dangerous. I'll tell you how much time I have in Apex Legends.
No, go ahead.
217 days
Oh my
in that
god.
game.
Jeez.
This is what I would say as a reference for how much Farm played Apex back in the day, especially. Farmer has more wins than I have games played.
Dude, I don't even want to think.
I mean, it's also Farmer, so I mean, like, that might be a little skewed, but still,
I think that's a great level of just how different it is. Farmer has more wins than I have games played, straight up.
Well, I that was between that and Halo. That's all I was playing for a while. And yeah, that comes out to like 5,000 hours in that game.
Oh my god, that's pretty sweet.
It's an older game now, though. Right? It came out 2019. So,
oh man, 5 years old. Wow.
Yeah.
I am currently primarily playing Helldivers 2, Fortnite with my son, Elite Dangerous, and God of War. And also, I picked up, Daniel actually gifted me this game, Spirit of the North. I downloaded it. I have not yet played it, but I am wanting to get into it. It looks really cool. It's like a Fox and single player type game, indie type game. Looks fun. I want to try it, but I haven't had the chance yet. What about you, D? What are you playing?
So I've been playing, not a lot because I've been sick, but I've been playing mostly a little bit of Helldivers 2, finally getting back into that, which has been nice. Go Democracy. Suicide Squad with Farmer on Saturdays, usually. And Elite Dangerous. A lot of Elite Dangerous the last couple days. So.
But D is right, though. Like you brought up, like you have to really be 100% in. But, especially if you have some of like the computerized assists, you make your adjustments when you first get into a system. But then like it's going to land, it'll bring you in and get you into orbit or get you to the orbital. And you can just do all of that stuff, tell the computer to do it. And I used to play a lot of ukulele while playing Elite Dangerous because, like, in between things, right, I would just practice ukulele. It was sweet. It makes me want to get a dock for the Steam Deck so I can play it on my TV, which I've talked about is just basically me reinventing the Xbox to get a dock and to plug in a controller to it and do all of that.
How big is your screen on that Steam Deck?
Not huge.
I would think a bigger screen would, at least 20 inches or something, maybe like a normal monitor or something would be nice. All
right, let's look. The size of it is 7.4 inches.
Oh, wow. Not
big.
How are your eyes?
Well, it looks really nice, and I don't often I don't often notice it for a lot of games.
I mean, your phone's bigger than that, right?
No, I have a mini phone.
Not quite. Yeah.
Hold on. This is my favorite thing to do on an audio only podcast is let's do a visual bit. So, because we all have our cameras on. So I'm going to show Farmer. Here's my Switch, right?
Oh,
or my Switch, my Steam Deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not bad then. It's comparable to the Switch then. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels bigger because the controllers are bigger. But have you seen they make those like Switch controllers that are like super meaty, like those Switch Joy-Cons that are like really big and stick out?
Yeah.
I feel like if you had those, it would feel a lot like a Steam Deck. Farm, what's up with you?
Oh, me? Oh, man. It's been a whirlwind of a week, honestly. Today's actually my son's birthday. So.
Oh, happy birthday to your son.
Yeah. We went, we did donuts, got to go get donuts, kids love it. Yeah, I mean, I love it. And that's, good.
Right.
Good thing, bad thing, it's like, I love donuts, but they don't need to be in my diet so much, But,
what kind of donut do you like?
My favorite, probably hands down, is going to be a jelly-filled donut.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I've always been a big fan. I think my dad got me on those, I was actually telling my son earlier, like, yeah, he got me hooked on them. Young age, never could stop. But yeah, we did that. We went bowling. We just had a good day. It was we got to go out and touch grass today.
Ooh,
I
very
highly
nice.
recommend that to everyone. Get out and do a little exercise. We did some ultimate frisbee. Have you guys ever played ultimate frisbee?
Unless you're allergic to grass,
unless
then
you're
don't
allergic.
touch it.
There's a lot of pollen this time of year, and it's just ramping up. It's just ramping up. But yeah, you guys ever play ultimate frisbee?
No. Yes, actually, I have once.
Good times. We were playing that today, and yeah, highly recommend it. It's just a good time.
Yeah. So instead of talking about sports, my favorite donut is a like custard filled donut. I'm a big fan of those. I do like jelly filled as well. Those are very good, but I love like a good thick custard creamed donut of any kind.
What's your flavor? What's the flavor?
Regular custard is fine with me. I really like just custard, period. But any flavor, I'm down. This one of the saddest things is when I buy a donut thinking that it's custard filled and it's not. Like the name would make it seem like, oh, this will be great, and then you get it and you're just like, wow, there's nothing in this. Bummer.
Yeah.
What about you, D? What's your favorite donut?
Oh man, my favorite would probably be. This is gonna sound like ridiculous, but like those novelty donuts, like the big, huge ones that are like Pop-Tart flavored or like peanut butter and jelly or whatever, all
right, cool.
Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like I don't know why they're all breakfast food, but
you like breakfast.
The last time I was in Vegas, I found a little like hole in the wall shop that had a bunch of like novelty like donuts like that, and they were all custom, fresh, and tasted really good.
When you said that it would be weird, I was really worried you're going to be like, I like a good old plain donut with nothing. I basically just like a piece of bread. And I was going to be like, whoa.
I like my donuts stale, so I leave them out for like a whole week. That sort of thing.
What I should have said is that I like pineapple donuts. That's what I should have said.
Wow. That's even a stretch for me. Okay. I like pineapple, but I don't think I could do a pineapple donut. Now, I will say that a bacon on donuts is really good. Like get maple.
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
And bacon. Wow. That's actually really good.
Well, to touch a little bit into controversy here, I really don't eat pineapple. Pineapple on pizza is great. Why don't people like it? I don't understand why that's the hill people want to die on. I don't even really like to eat pineapple. No, and that's I don't even like to eat pineapple. But on pizza, fantastic.
The Lord blessed pineapple and gave it to us and said, "Eat this fruit."
Well, but you know what it is? Pizza's really doing the heavy lifting, right? Pizza's doing the heavy lifting. What it is I don't really love pineapple, but pizza elevates it to another level, right? Not the opposite, at least for me.
And I want to clarify, like, I like pineapple on pizza only with barbecue. That's my thing.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like the pizza sauce with it. No, not me.
Interesting.
No, because the sauce is already, like, depending on who makes it, it's already a little bit sweet, so to speak. I want barbecue sauce that gives me, a little bit of spice, so to speak. Kind of balance it all out. I don't know. That's just how I am. We grew up like that, eating that stuff, me and my brothers, and just love it. Just love it.
You guys need to come to Japan and get that like shrimp mayonnaise pizza. It'll make you feel real different about pineapple on pizza. You're like, listen, this is fine. Shrimp corn mayonnaise on pizza. It's not a vibe. I won't even eat it. I was just like, listen,
I'm not into.
I would
mayonnaise,
rather die.
Really. Yeah, I'm not.
Wait. You're not into mayonnaise?
But
I'm not into mayonnaise a lot. Like I'll eat it from time to time, but it's not like if it's mostly mayonnaise or anything like a lot, like globbed on, leave me out of that. I'm done.
Japan is weirdly into mayonnaise. It's not something people don't tell you that before you come here. You're like, wow, Japan, there's going to be all the stuff. What they don't tell you is they're like they put mayonnaise on everything here.
Wow.
Pretty weird. Yeah. But I also like mayonnaise, so for me it was like a win, right? I was like, sweet, like mayonnaise is really good on like a hot dog. Oh, delicious.
I mean, for Johnny, for Johnny, a born Chicago and anything but ketchup on a hot dog is fine.
That is true. Again, you really have needed to see Farmer's face when I said that. That was just just kind of like,
Just 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We have an audio gag there. Nice.
Yes. So I have two connotations with mayonnaise every time that I think of it. One is that it's what my mom always used to get lice out of our hair growing up.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah. And the second,
that's great memory.
The second is, I think it was a Tony Hawk game that like had like a Hellman's mayonnaise like sponsored achievement, and the achievement's name was "Don't Be So Mayo" because it was like a slight against Kraft or something. Yeah,
wow.
I remember that one. Don't be so mayo. Such a weird achievement name.
Yeah.
I would like to think that when David hears the word mayonnaise, his head just starts to itch for no reason.
Man. Don't even, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
But D, I know you had another topic you did want to cover. I want to make space for that. I know I feel like at the end of every week, D's like, we did not cover. I have more topics to cover. I was like,
well,
okay.
I always come prepared. Okay, I was a Cub Scout. I didn't make it to Boy Scout, but I was a Cub Scout. So I just linked you guys a video in our little group chat.
I've actually seen this video.
So Atlas discontinued one of their bipedal robots, and
bummer.
That was a big
Boston
deal.
Dynamics.
It was like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, like they're done, I guess. And then they immediately came out with a new one, and I don't know, like these things are like crazy. Like if we have to fight these things, we're dead. Like that's not
is his
going well
name
for us.
Is his name All New Atlas? That's the name of this title. Fully electric. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna try and describe this video that David sent. It's of the new Atlas from Boston Dynamics. If you watch this video, it starts with a humanoid robot on the floor, like laying on the floor. And now just imagine your worst nightmare. Imagine how things should not stand up. That's what you should imagine, right? Like, so we've all seen things stand up, like not even just human, just anything. We've all seen things go from a laying to an up position. Now, imagine your worst nightmare and combine it with something getting up. And
out of a Raimi movie, like a Raimi horror movie. Yeah.
And that
add a little chrome to it. Yeah, add a little chrome to it, and you've got it.
Nightmare fuel. But I really like the Atlas videos. Like the videos where he like dances and does all, or like he like gives them tools and stuff is one of the other videos. Yeah. But I mean, here's the thing though. At one of our local restaurants here, a family restaurant, they have a robot waiter. So the way it works is you can like push the button and someone will come and take your order. But also you can just like order on, like they have an app and like a QR code you could scan and you just order stuff and it goes through, and then like a robot waiter, but it doesn't look like, this is a different one than the one you're thinking of. Like, cause it like just like drives up to your table and like turns around and you like take the trays off of it.
What, like really? Like something out of Star Wars, where it just bumps and bumps.
So
and
yes, you know what? Exactly. I was gonna say. So now, whatever you're imagining, make it way less cool and not as great as having just a human being carrying it over to you, because
no, that's mine. Over here. No.
It's just like it keeps like stopping to turn around, but then it detects someone's coming or get something, so it like stops turning, and then it like starts to turn again. It's just, it's not great. It's not great. Again, there are some things about AI technology.
Head in your
that's
hands,
great.
like, oh, come on.
Well, there's some things about AI that's great, but these robots, not great.
One of my favorite things about Fallout is just how like not appealing the robot designs are. Like one's like a clunky like construction like robot, and it's like, okay, well this is just kind of like a boring kind of like simplistic design. And then like the household
The weird
robot is
floating
like
dude.
this weird, like, floating guy, and it's just like, just like impractical, bulky, like just not
They look
appealing
like
aesthetically.
they
Yeah,
look
I
like
mean,
octopus,
yeah.
right? Now I want to look at. They look like octopus, and
It's like,
These guys are.
it just seems like totally the kind of thing that we build.
Yeah.
I know David has finished the show. Have you seen the show yet? The Fallout show. Farm?
I have, yeah. And I was actually.
Oh, did you watch it all?
Just about to say that, like, we were selling the whole Elite Dangerous. So our game of this of the podcast is that. So I would say we need to sell the Fallout show now. Like almost promotion, because it's so good. And I was talking to David about it the other
haven't
day,
seen
and
it.
like, Johnny, you got to see it. What are you doing? Are you under a rock?
So here's the problem: is I haven't had time. But also, the more people like stuff, the less likely I am to consume it. I'm just a naysayer.
This is true.
I'm just a naysayer. The more people are liking it, the harder it is for me to get into it, because I'm just like, it's dumb.
Says the guy who's trying to shove Elite Dangerous down my throat.
I know.
Okay,
I
wow.
know. Like, I recently talked with Chiho about how I'm such a hater. Like, if anyone likes anything, I'm a pretty immediate hater and just start making fun of it, unless I also happen to like the thing, in which then I don't do that. Then I'm like, oh, cool. I
feel that. I'm like that a little bit, I guess, when it comes down to it, where I approach something that's like beloved by everybody with a great deal of skepticism, and then it's like, oh, now a lot of people like this for a lot of good reasons. When it comes down to it.
Well, but you know what? It deserves it, because, like, man, a lot of people talked up My Neighbor Totoro and how awesome of a movie that is. And guess what? It's not. Also, a lot of people talked up how awesome of a movie Spirited Away is. Guess what? It's not. I watched both of those movies and I didn't feel anything. A movie is good when at the end of the movie, you literally say out loud, "That's it." That's how that's how you know it's a good movie. I'm like, oh, cool.
Well,
that's it.
This show, so I've never really gotten into Fallout, so to speak. And
that's one of the things holding me back too, Farm. Because I'm the same. I'm not super into Fallout.
And I've always thought the premise of it was really cool, because, it kind of touches on the same thing that BioShock, in a way, just loosely. I don't want anybody to come after me or anything, but just the whole... I just like the whole timeline that they've got. And I'm like, once I started watching it, it was just like, okay, I'm totally in. And now I want to play the game. So actually, David and I installed, I think he already had it, but I installed Fallout 76 and we launched it
Xbox?
On Xbox. Yeah.
On Xbox.
I have it on Xbox as well.
It was that good that it just like, it launched me forward into the franchise.
You know what? Fallout, so it hasn't made me want to play Fallout 76, but it has made me want to reinstall Fallout Shelter on my phone, like the iPhone game. I actually really liked that game. I just love the look of it, the aesthetic of it, and such. I found that to be really cool, and so
and that's what they that's what they do really well in this show. I would say, they get that feel of the game across, like what you expect from a game into a show like that, which is great.
When it comes down to it, it's like they respect the franchise, right? They respect the actual like property that they're like making a show based on. And every single word that comes out of Todd Howard and Jonathan Nolan's mouths about it just shows a reverence for the source material that just the Halo show doesn't have. That a lot of video game adaptations don't have.
I was going to ask
we
if
also
there was
talked about this yesterday. Yeah. Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this. I watched up to episode 3 in the Halo show, and I finished this before I finished. I still haven't watched Halo season 2, and that's kind of huge for me.
That's pretty crazy for Farmer. Guys, for those listening, many of you don't know this, but his middle name is actually Halo. It's pretty wild.
And
legally
again,
changed
not to say I didn't enjoy those new, season 2, the 3 episodes that I did watch, but this was just on another level. It's just on another level.
Oh man, you guys are making me excited to watch it. But also, it's the same guy who did Westworld, and I was a big fan of Westworld.
Yes. Yeah. He knocks it out of the park again.
So, D, are you gonna get
pun intended.
Amazon Prime to watch season 2 of the Fallout show?
Yeah, I'll get it for like 1 month to watch season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they got rid of the Prime Video standalone apparently, like last September.
What?
Yeah, it's no longer a thing in the US or the UK. They quietly did away with that. So now you have to get like just regular Prime.
How come companies are just getting rid of everything that we want to use? Like Disney Plus got rid of Watch Together. Why did they get rid of? Why does every company want you to just not enjoy yourself? What is going? Can Warner Brothers buy Amazon? That's gonna be like my solution to everything. I'm gonna be like, I think Warner Brothers should just buy it. Just shut it down. Would you say that this is the best like Amazon original show you've watched for both of you guys?
Man.
I mean, that's really hard because Expanse is really great.
I wouldn't count the
Expanse. Thing that comes
Expanse.
to mind.
No, I wouldn't count the Expanse because the Expanse did become an Amazon original, but they didn't start it, right? Like they saved it from being canceled. So let's not count the Expanse.
Outside of that, then yes.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Better than Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. Rings of Power was like the most expensive TV show ever. It was like $1 billion.
I would say Wheel of Time is like pretty up there for me personally. Like, but that Ring of Power maybe isn't as high.
Ring of Power, I think, suffers a lot from what the Halo show did. In my opinion.
I would agree. It's funny how they could spend so much money and it was such a big thing when it came out. And it's like, is there even going to be a season 2? Like, how could you make Lord of the Rings not that cool? It was, but I mean, it's like the same for Halo, right? Like, how could you make Halo not cool? It's cool already.
And the twist in Rings of Power could have been literally anything. And they went with like the most like basic foreshadowed twist like that ever could have been. Like, come on. Like there was so much potential for that to be a really cool novel choice, and nope. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I never finished it, to tell you the truth.
What? Good for you.
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I watched it and it wasn't like it was bad, but it was just like I had other things come up and I never got back to it.
To be honest, I would say, looking back on it, I can only think of a handful of moments from the show that I really liked. And that's not a great thing, right?
No.
Like, shows are really built on like memorable moments, and Rings of Power didn't have a lot of memorable moments.
Well, and again, I'm going back to the Fallout, I feel like the whole thing is amazing moments, honestly. And that's why it's so good to me. Like, it's not just one actor, it's like all of it working together. All the characters, like, they just feel so real, and they just feel like they make sense, and the pacing's right, and the settings are right, and it just felt great.
Yeah. One of the reasons I haven't been watching is because time that I would spend maybe watching something, I've been playing games instead. I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going to watch the Fallout show. At least, I don't know that I can watch the whole thing, but I'm going to watch at least enough of it that we can chat about it a little bit and spoil it for everybody who's listening.
Let's go.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like it would have benefited a lot from a week-to-week release because there's a lot to talk about there. But also, like, some of the cliffhangers that they chose were, like, pretty obvious cliffhangers that would have really upset me. So, I mean, and it was a nice binge. Like, I enjoyed watching all of it. I did.
Right.
It just would have been interesting to, like, because there is a bit of a mystery there, and there are some twists and turns. That it would have been interesting to like theorize about. And I feel like when you drop everything at once, you don't really get that.
Right, that's true.
I do respect that method as well, because like going through Talkville, like I've told you guys, going from like kind of week to week with some of these episodes, you can kind of like hash it out, a little bit, and it's great because it builds up the drama a little bit for you, and you're also like, oh, you're letting your mind, imagine things. Oh, what could happen? What if they did this? What if they try this? What could happen next week?
I actually want to backpedal a second because I just thought of something I hadn't really thought of. So like Disney Plus and Amazon both got rid of their like watch together feature, right?
Yeah.
In the last year. Do you think that they added those features because of the pandemic? And that now that the pandemic's done, that they are like wanting to go back to just not having to support that? Because that would actually make sense.
I think also part of it too is like cracking down on the password sharing and everything. Mm-hmm. And they didn't necessarily see a use case outside of like people like being on the same account, but like choosing to sync, like, to watch the show at the same time through the same
I wonder
account.
how much it had to do with
that is what everybody was doing, I mean, like,
right.
And not everybody, obviously, but a lot of people.
How easy was it to like kind of like pirate it too? I kind of wonder if it was something like that too. Like, oh, you can capture this if you're joined in from another device, so to speak. I don't know, but I imagine they've looked at the numbers and like, hey, maybe nobody's using it. Let's just can it.
Right, and I mean that's the sad truth, right? I love having a small phone, and small phones are dead because we killed them. This is why we don't have nice things.
I'm a little bit frustrated that we'll never know how much the Netflix drop-off is going to be because they stopped sharing their subscriber numbers. Because we saw them get like a 13 million person bump after they cracked down on password sharing. And so did every other company. Every other company saw that too. And they're like, okay, we're going to do the same thing. But I think that the allure of that has fallen off a lot. Yeah. And I'm curious, like, how much that'll drop, and we might just never know because now they're not sharing those numbers.
I'm the only person on this podcast who has a Netflix subscription, right?
I don't.
You don't,
for sure.
And Farmer doesn't. So. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm the only person I know with a Netflix subscription. Because most people, when I'm like, oh, it's on Netflix, do you have Netflix? They're always like, no. And I'm just so floored by that. Like, I've had a Netflix subscription for, like, I don't know, like 6 years or something. Different use case, I suppose. We all have different use cases.
Well, I had ideological problems with them doing the whole password sharing crackdown. But now that everybody's doing that, I mean, I guess that kind of,
it's the new.
My boycott normal. Didn't work. Boycotts apparently aren't always 100% effective.
Yeah.
We should wrap up. Is there anything you guys want to cover before we finish?
I don't think so. Just remember to go fall for Fallout.
Go fall for Fallout. Okay. Everyone, go check out Elite Dangerous. Fantastic game. We're not just saying that because we're biased. It actually, if you like space, if you like exploration and discovery, you know what I mean? Because like in Elite,
yes.
It's as deep as you want it to be. Like there's more, which is really cool. Would highly recommend it. If you get it on console, you will not be able to get out of your ship and do all of those things. You need to check it out on Steam. Go check out the Fallout show. I'm going to check it out this week. And the Fallout, if you like not having fun, go play the Fallout games. They're a ton of not fun.
76 is great. And,
I played 76. It wasn't great back in the day. I love this. I love this response, and I know because I've said it too. When people are like, "I played that game, it's not fun," and people are like, "It's better now." Man. Anyway, make sure to give us a good review. Give us the double thumbs up or whatever. 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars, whatever you listen to. And Craig, thanks for coming into work today. Appreciate you.